Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSide DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm Marshall Mega 31. Cup race at Homestead. We got 3 weekends left before NASCAR's over. So we have Martinsville next week, and then Phoenix for the finale. So we are coming to the end. Thank you for still watching. I know football and so many other things are going on now, hockey, NBA. But let's still make some money in NASCAR here. I know the pots are starting to get a little bit smaller, but there's still money out there to be claimed. So if you look at the first column, there's some purple drivers there. It's kind of like the road races where I put people that are like better than average. Um, for when it comes to road courses, this is tire wear. This is a high tire wear track. It falls into strategy. You get new tires on there, you can just blow right through the field. So such an advantage. So pit strategy comes in, and some people might want to try to stay out as long as they can to get the fresher tires later in the race, and you can definitely see um, an advantage. It didn't work in Xfinity. The guys that stayed out didn't get the caution, but if it does come, it can definitely um, reward those who tried to wait it out and not pit and having the fresher tires later in the race when everybody else has none left. So playoffs, the ones in red are below the cut line. It was a pretty bad race for playoff drivers last week. Joey Logano won. He's locked into Phoenix. So there's 3 spots left for grabs. If somebody wins this race, they lock themselves in. So it would only, uh, Martinsville would next week would provide, if the winner would get 1 spot and there'd be only one at large. So I'll have to see what happens there. So Larson and Bell, they're not locks, but they are pretty high up in points, almost like 50 clear. So a lot would have to go wrong for them probably not to advance on points. Um, They'd have to have like probably 2 other random drivers win, and then between the two of them would come down to points. But we'll cross that bridge next week. And then Byron is just below. He's actually just above the cut line by like 30 some. So let's get into the breakdown here. You definitely are going to want to try to find dominators, probably 2 to 3 when you're looking at it. Reddick on the pole is definitely had like one of the best speeds in practice. Good fall off with all the splits, the 5 to 10, the 15 lap average, and he just always run pretty well here. So I think he could potentially get out there and lead early or Larson. I think I've heard that some are trying to get both Reddick and Larson in their lineup. I get it. I think I would prefer my cash with a couple place differential guys and take a shot at like one up here. But again, I just have to let you know that it could potentially be a build, and there's enough value to be able to make that happen. Christopher Bell is usually run pretty well on tire wear tracks, but he just didn't have the speed in practice that some of these other drivers did up here, starting in the top 4. So I have him as upside dominator. Hamlin has always run well here. Just the finishes haven't been great, but I think you can consider him a third dominator. So I think Larson and Reddick is where you want to start your cash lineups. Pick one of them, maybe two, and maybe rotate Hamlin in some of them. And if you're playing like 20 max, rotate a little bit of Bell in. Stenhouse qualified really well, but just didn't have good fall off and speed overall. He's okay on tire wear tracks, but I didn't feel he's to like the purple level to give him that designation. So I think he's going to fall back. So I'm not going to be playing him. Truex is still probably chasing like the final win of his career. He's out of the playoffs, so he doesn't have to go for stage points, which could help him get track position, alternate pit strategies and stuff. He This could turn into a fuel mileage race, and he's going to save and fuel. So I think that Martin is going to be in my 100K lineup because he didn't have he wasn't super fast, he wasn't super slow. His fall off was okay in practice, but I'm looking at historic average. He's been good. Chase Elliott has a lot to do to make the playoffs. Continue on to make the final. I think he's got upsized GPP dominator play here, but I just didn't like what I saw in practice to make me feel like I want to play him in cash. Bubba Wallace, the same thing. Like not horrible on tire wear tracks, but I wouldn't say he belongs in the proficient club. I think he does have a little bit of upside here, starting eighth, but I just think it's more of a GPP play. Emmerich has been solid all season. He has an Xfinity done well on some Toyota tracks, but I just haven't seen it in Cup in this Collie program, and I think he's going to fall backwards, so he's a fade for me. Haley in the Spire car is okay. I didn't see anything that really stuck out that made me feel like he's going to be a fade like Hemrick, but I didn't see anything that made me feel like he's a cash play either. Kind of like no man's land here. So GBP, kind of like I have 6,400 left, and I don't want to play Stenhouse. So he's going to be the last guy in my lineup type of deal. Bowman didn't like what I saw in practice here either, so he's going to GPP for me. I've seen him do okay on tire wear tracks. I've seen him struggle on tire wear tracks, so I just and it's just looking at like his some of his finishes at Homestead. I just nothing really blew me away, so GPP. Next two, I think, are solid 100K plays to match with Truex here. Barry took over for Harvick, who was one of the best tire wear drivers ever, and Rodney Childress and the team, I think, have taught him well. He actually did pretty well in Xfinity before he moved up to the Cup level. So, and Stuart Haas cars didn't look too bad here with practice and qualifying. So, and Briscoe won Darlington, which is the second Darlington race, which is a high tire wear track. So I think both of these ones people are going to overlook for ownership just because how Stuart Haas is kind of mailed in and stuff. But I think the team still wants to go out there and win races. I think some of these guys are um, driving for jobs next year. Some of them have self locked in, but I really like all three of the Stewart Haas drivers that are up here, and even all four that are in the field. So, because Priest is always a solid value play when it comes to um, driver tire wear track. So, I mean, maybe just do a four-person Stewart Haas stack in GPP and rotate bombs in with it. It should give you enough money to have those last two positions, or maybe even take three out of the four if you've got more salary and take another one-off up salary from them. Gibbs, I think, is a solid here too. Xfinity was always good on tire wear tracks. He's run pretty well here in his limited time. So, cash play, and he's not in the playoffs, so that's a little bit of incentive to go more for the win than try to figure out stage points and stuff. Hocevar started a little bit too far forward here. Usually he's pretty good on tire wear tracks, but I just haven't seen it um, in Cup here as much as I saw it in truck, so I didn't give him the purple. Like he's borderline fade, but I think I'm just gonna give him GPP because like he could be surprising. I don't think I play him in a 100K lineup, but I think if he just kind of land in that zone and needs somebody that he's acceptable to play. Gregson, I like here. I think he's gonna have high ownership just with how well we saw him in Xfinity and driving in Richmond and Darlington and some of these high tire wear tracks in the Cup Series. And like Stuart Haas just seems to have it kind of figured out with where they all qualified, how they looked in practice. Noah Gragson had like actually probably top um, three in some of the categories and fall off. So I think he'll be popular in cash games, and I think he's a solid fill-in for you. Kyle Busch, Toyd would put him in the 100K, but Truex, I think, has a better shot here from what I saw in practice and qualifying. So I think it's just going to be GPP for me. Greg Keselowski's always solid on anywhere tracks. You know, RFK is notorious for during the playoffs when everybody's out, just being like a research and development team to go out there and try to get as much information as they can for next year if they're in the playoffs. Try a whole bunch of things. Really don't care that there's actually a race going on around them, but I think he'll be fine here. Um, I still like him. Zane Smith, another one in the truck series that was really good. Haven't really seen the speed here. It's been kind of a dysfunctional team. He's been kind of like the stepchild of the Spire ones. It seems like all the resources went to Hosafar and to LaJoy when he was there, and now they've moved over to Haley, who's going to be taking over for like next season. So I don't expect a ton out of Zane Smith here. I think he is still fighting to try to figure out like a ride situation for next year, but a GPP for me. Then I'm going to put my two primes here. Blaney, I absolutely love on tire wear tracks. He is so solid. Uh, you look good in practice, just didn't get the qualifying numbers, and it definitely has some upside. Had a lot to do to try to make the playoffs. Going to probably go for the win. I can see him staying out. He's just so many positives. I gotta make him a prime play, which I know is going to hurt making a 10K prime play if you're trying to get some of the 10K drivers like Larson and Reddick in there. There's enough value to make it happen. Still, you're not going to be able to play my other prime plays in the 7K range. You're going to have to drop down. But there are some options that definitely will make that work for you. Busher, I just remember like a couple years ago, and I believe it was still the next gen car. I think it was the first year of the next gen car. Just absolutely got out. It's like before I really had heard of him, he was just out there leading lap after lap after lap unexpectedly. It was when they used to race here two times, I believe, or the race was earlier. I can't remember the situation, but he was just super dominant whatever that race was, and he didn't end up winning it. It's like something happened, like speeding on pit road or something like that, kind of derailed his day. But he's going to be prime play for me, and and I get it if you can't get into the 7K range. I'll give you another option to take his place when if we get further on down. Testing has been not great on tire wear tracks. So he's sometimes a little bit too aggressive, but he's been good at this racetrack overall. So I think he's going to be highly owned. I think he's a solid cash fill-in. Suarez, his teammate, is more of GPP. He has not been traditionally good on high tire wear tracks, so I'm not playing him in cash, but we'll consider him a GPP. McDowell, we keep on talking about it. Ford's pulled all the resources. He keeps on defying expectations in qualifying, but the finishes just aren't there. Really didn't see anything that stuck out in practice and qualifying, so he's going to be GPP for me. Byron, I think Blaney or Byron they're going to be people's primes down here or cores or whatever they call them on their shows or their content. So if you want a little bit more place differential and you got $300 more and you want to play Byron over Blaney, I'm fine with that. I think he's going to be more popular in ownership. So that's why I kind of like Blaney too, as a prime play to give you a little bit of leverage. But I think the choice is do you play Blaney Byron for the place differential? That's like looks really great here with some drivers can definitely get up through the field, especially if they manage their tires well, and then only play one of Reddick or Larson, or take both Larson and Reddick, and then you have to pick like Blaney or Logano, and um and then you have to go with like value after that. So it's a it's a it's a hard choice. It's good um, to kind of make there. But it's nice if you can afford, even in like the Chrome Horn, it's like only $4. It's a 20 max. That's fun. Where a fun one, or even the dollar one to play around with the different combinations of Blaney, Byron, Reddick, Larson, and Hamlin. They're all up in the 10K range, trying to get like two or three into your lineup with the rest of the solid floor plays to rotate those high guys in, but find like the like Stuart Haas group there or whatever. That's kind of like your core to in a GPP to add things in. And cash you want to be a little bit safer. The Stuart Haas guys are trying a little bit far forward there. Grayson's probably uh fine for you, but I'd stick to the cash tags in mixing that in. So Joey Logano won last week. Luck knocks his way into the finals. Don't think he really deserved the win, but kudos to him. He was in position and took the victory, and now he's moving on to his first championship at 9,300 here. Like he didn't qualify well, and his practice didn't look great. Now, yes, he is a good tire wear guy, and yes, he's aggressive, and lots of things could happen positive. So he's got a ton of upside, but I don't see the floor. So that's why he's going to be a GPP and not a cat play for me. Has Grella struggled all season. I qualified better than expected here, but I think he's going backwards, so fade. Eric Jones has not had great speed here in the Legacy Motor Club, but he's been good with tire wear tracks, so cash play. John Hunter Nemechek would have been a smash play at this price point at this starting position in the beginning of the season, but we just have seen him really not make progress or even go backwards. I don't know if it's the team or the driver or what's going on, so he's going to be GPP for me. Austin Dillon, I think you could, if you don't want to go up for Busher at the 77 for the prime play, and you need some savings, then either Austin Dillon or Todd Gillen. It's pretty much the same play, another 900 apart. But I think both of them really have the upside with tire wear tracks to have a solid day. Neither one qualified well, but if you look at their Darlington numbers and Richmond numbers and some other high tire wear tracks that are out there, they actually usually do pretty well. Um, Advancing up, so they're going to be cash plays. AJ Allmendinger, the Collie card, the 16 has not been great in tire wear tracks, but he showed that he can do some amazing things in the Xfinity race today, and we've seen him do it in cup races. I think he understands from road courses how to manage tires pretty well. So I think that's going to help him. But again, if you're looking for a prime play, if you can't get the busher with what your build is, then you really want to go with like Dillon or Gillian. But still consider Allmendinger if you need like multiple people in the 7K range or looking for some place differential. LaJoy and Burton have been okay. Burton's actually been really good on tire wear tracks. He won here in Xfinity in 2000, 2020, 2021, one of those years. So uh, he has had some success in this track, so he's not going to get faded this week. I think he's actually a decent play. He'll probably be one of the first guys in my GPP lineup. Not playing him in cash, but I think he definitely has some upside there. And then Love Priest down here as a cash play. He's got the place differential. He's doesn't necessarily have the speed as the other Stuart Haas ones, so I don't expect that he's gonna be like a top 10 car. I think he can get up to like 20, maybe on a really good day, 15, and that's like 15 to 20 place differential points. I love that at 5,900. I think it's such solid floor there for him. And then Cindric has so much upside. He's been really good at tire wear tracks, just did not qualify well. But in practice, he had the speed, everything looked good. And then Yaley and Fincham could be multiple laps down. Um, they just don't have the speed, and I think the fall off's going to be crazy bad for them. So that's what I got for you. If you have any questions, put them chat below. Hit me up on Megaro31 on Twitter or X. If you want more information off FSidfs, DFS, you can go to the description of the video. It's a great day. So many sports going on, especially Monday. I'm considering check our social media. We might run a free day for that because it's the Sports Eclipse Day. Because you're gonna have baseball, NFL football with Monday Night Football, like the World Series of baseball, NBA basketball, and NHL. Hockey, like all four major sports playing on the same day. It happens only like maybe once or twice a year. So let's celebrate that and maybe just watch again our social medias. We might have a special coupon for a free day pass for that. So thanks for watching the videos. These videos help us back. Like, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. So thanks for still watching. We've got 3 weeks left. I'll try to cover as I'm on vacation next week, so I should be able to get in all the. I got a lot of things to do before am able to officially be on vacation, so that's why I couldn't get to the Xfinity video. I apologize for that. I probably won't get to NFL video, although we technical difficulties didn't have one last week and nobody asked for it, so might be phasing those out unless you I hear from a lot of people that they're actually valuable. There's just so many of them out there. I understand it's hard to get views for those. So, but we tried it. But anyways, back to NASCAR. Just 3 weeks left. It's going to be exciting end to the season as it usually is. We'll have everything covered for you. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next time.